Hello, and welcome to an episode of the Critic Diaries, where we break down an episode of the Vampire Diaries. We are on to episode 5. And before we get into episode 5, I just want to say that thank you so much for if you have been watching these videos up until this point. I have received quite a few comments of encouragement to continue the show, and one comment in particular that I do want to talk about is about Caroline. um, Someone commented in one of my videos, I can't remember the person's name, but shout out to you, you know who you are. And they explained to me about Caroline and why she's not a vampire at this point, even though Damon, put her at the end of episode 1 or the end of episode 2. So basically, it takes more than a bite on the neck in order for you to become a vampire, which is interesting to me. I just assumed you just get bitten by a vampire and oh, there you go, you're a vampire now. But yeah, but shout out to the person that actually thoroughly explained it to me. Also, I'd just like to say to the people out there who have said that I will like Damon Salvatore, I am still patiently waiting for that point. Can someone please confirm in the comments if that's going to be happening soon? Because I'm 5 episodes into the show and I still do not like Damon. I am so sorry to all the people who are Team Damon over Team Stefan. I'm Team neither. Yeah. But with that said, let's actually discuss episode 5. All right. So episode 5, it's the episode where there's the car wash at the school. I think it's some fundraiser, and interesting things are happening. Bonnie causes a fire, which is interesting enough. She kind of goes into a trance state, and then at the end of the episode, she goes to her grandmother, and she's like I don't know what to do, or I don't know who I am. And the grandmother is there to support her, so I'm happy with that. I love the development that they are doing with her. I still say Bonnie is my favorite character. It's only been 5 episodes, but she's still my number one character. I don't think that's going to change anytime soon. So I like the fact that, again, she's discovering her powers. She is getting to the point of just knowing who she is as a witch. And I can't wait for that episode where she uses her power in full force against those that are trying to harm Mystic Falls. I will be patiently waiting for that episode. But yeah, then we have Elena. Elena and Stefan, they are in a point in their life where um, Stefan leaves at the end of episode 4 and says, look, I will explain everything at a later stage. And so Elena's kind of left in the dark, but they do make up in that episode. But now we're at a stage where Elena is figuring out that Stefan is a vampire, and she pieces things together about the Salvatore brothers, because you have the fact that Caroline was bitten on the neck and on the back by Damon. We have the animal attacks. And most importantly, we have the part where Elena goes online and sees that Stefan is in this news clip in 1953, and he looks exactly the same. And she pieces these things together. And I think she knows that he's a vampire, but she doesn't want to say it, which is why she wants Stefan to say it. At the end of episode 4, we find Damon being, um, thrown into this cell by Stefan, and he manages to get himself out by Caroline, but then he scares Caroline off, and I think it's safe to say Caroline's not going to be talking to Damon for the next few episodes, and I hope it is like that. Damon ends up killing Zach, or attacking Zach, and Stefan finds Zach laying like that. But then Damon goes to this graveyard area where Vicky is. I keep on calling her Victoria. I'm assuming that her name is Vicky, which is short for Victoria, but Vicky. And basically gets her to go close to him, and he sucks blood from Vicky's neck. So that's the second time that she's been attacked by Damon. In the same episode, we have Jeremy and Vicky and their relationship kind of blooming, I guess. And they end up going to this graveyard. I know this is all over the place. I'm kind of just doing it by character. And they go to this graveyard, and they're doing all sorts of substances there. And basically, Vicky steals pills that Elena is supposed to take, and I think it shows two things about the show as a whole. The first thing it shows about Elena. Elena is supposed to be taking this medication, and it's very much implied that she's supposed to be taking this medication because it's supposed to help her from the trauma from her parents' death, right? And the second thing that I think it reveals is the fact that you know the more sympathy that we have for Vicky, because she's still a waitress, but she does all these substances, and she will do anything to get those substances, and so she steals Elena's pills, even though Jeremy told her not to. And so Jeremy and Vicky, they have a fight about it, and Vicky makes an important point, or at least an interesting one. She tells Jeremy, you know you're just going to have this blimping life where you're taking drugs, and then you're going to go to some Ivy League college, and you're gonna make a name for yourself. You're gonna be successful, but I will always be a waitress in this town. I will always be a junkie in this town. And the first reaction that I had to that was, first off, even though it is really difficult to try and get out, because you can kind of see, maybe this is not the life that she wants to live, but at the same time, she's complacent about the fact that she's in this position. But the first thing that I thought is, no matter what background you have, you may have to work 10 times harder than other people who have privilege and the wealth and everything else to do so. But you can still get yourself out. And that was like the first thing that popped into my head about Vicky. I never thought that I would have those thoughts. I never thought that I would be thinking about those things while watching a Vampire Diaries episode. But, there it is. So yes, so that's episode 5. I think it's getting better and better. I still can't believe that I waited so long before I started watching the show, but I'm so glad that I did. And I'm looking forward to watching episode 6. I want Stefan. I feel like Stefan is going to make up some kind of lie to Elena and tell Elena, oh, I don't know what you're talking about. And then he's going to use his power to manipulate her. I feel like it's going to get to that point. Or what I'm hoping is going to happen is that Stefan is actually going to confess to Elena that he is in fact a vampire. I hope it's the latter. I really don't want him to make stuff up. I will say I'm still patiently waiting for the time in which I will like either brother, because in the beginning I liked Stefan. Now I don't really like Stefan, but I understand where he's coming from. But with Damon, it's been a constant nope. It's been a constant nope. It's been close for me to like Damon, but it's a nope. It's a bottom. And I feel like after season 1, when I'm going to be doing like a ranking of the characters, I hope that maybe Damon is not going to be at the bottom tier, but right now he's my very least favorite character. My favorite character of all time is, of course, Bonnie. Bonnie cannot do any wrong in my eyes. I'm just saying. Someone give Cat Graham more screen time. But yeah, if I have to rate the episode out of 10, I would probably give it a 7, maybe a 7.3. I found the first half to be a bit slow, but the second half was definitely entertaining, and which I cannot wait to watch episode 6. If you have made it this far, thank you so much for watching. Make sure that you do subscribe and turn on the notification bell so that you can see the next episode and that you don't miss a video. Also, give this video a thumbs up. And if you have made it to this far, let me know who your favorite character of the Vampire Diaries is. Even if they are not in season one, let me know who your favorite character from Vampire Diaries is. But with that said, thank you so much for watching. And until then, I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.